Syria in the Abraham Accords, and you are almost literally what you eat. It's 5 and 10 from SkyWatchTV. 5 things you need to know in about 10 minutes for Wednesday, July 2nd, 2025. I'm Gilbert. If you're watching us on YouTube, again, thank you. Please subscribe, share, click the bell for notifications, and we'll tell you after the break how to make sure we don't get canceled. Item number 5 today, Syria. This is an interesting development. President Trump says he believes Syria may soon join the Abraham Accords. In other words, peace between Israel and its Muslim neighbors. This is based on comments by White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt on Friday. Syria, under the Assad family, Bashar al-Assad, his father Hafez al-Assad, was the single most intense longtime enemy of Israel. Going back to 1948, there was a state of war which was never settled for more than half a century, centered on the occupied Golan Heights. Israel captured the Golan in 1967 during the Six-Day War. But Israel and Syria are reportedly moving towards signing a peace agreement by the end of 2025. We talked about this yesterday. Israel and Syria involved in high-level negotiations, but President Trump taking it a step farther and suggesting that Syria may become part of the Abraham Accords. Now, negotiations are focusing on the status of the Golan Heights and territorial arrangements thereon. According to Syrian sources cited by I-24 News, a news channel that we watch out of Israel, some of their programming in English, thankfully, for us non-Hebrew speakers, the potential agreement would normalize relations between the two countries, and one source describing making the Golan Heights a garden for peace, which would be a good thing. This is the most complex part of the negotiations. Under the reported framework, Israel would reportedly withdraw from the buffer zone on the Syrian side of the Golan Heights that it occupied beginning December 8th of 2024. This would also include withdrawing from the peak of Mount Hermon. Syria's demands focus on Israeli recognition of the new Syrian regime under Ahmed al-Sharaa. He's the leader of the al-Qaeda offshoot called HTS, Hayat Tahrir al-Sham. Clearly defined security arrangements in southern Syria. This is the border triangle between Jordan, Syria, and Israel, mainly occupied by the Druze, who have come under attack by the HTS regime, and unspecified U.S. support for Syria. Now, again, Israel captured the Golan Heights in 1967. It is strategically important because it looks down on Israeli cities around the Sea of Galilee, like Tiberias, and from which, up to Israel's capture of the Golan in 67, Syria was able to just lob mortar shells onto those Jewish settlements. Israel is not going to give back the Golan Heights, nor should it. In fact, in my opinion, Israel should hang on to the summit of Mount Hermon as well, because it creates a big blind spot in Israel's radar array. Missiles and drones approaching Israel from the north, screened by the summit of Mount Hermon, 9,232-foot elevation. Anyway, again, Syria not asking for the Golan Heights back, just wants Israel to return to the pre-2024 borders. United States on Monday, according to President Trump, lifted most of its sanctions on Syria. This formalized through an executive order. This is a huge change in the United States' relationship with Syria. And again, we will see what happens, because being an Islamist movement, I think ultimately HTS wants to recapture Israel, which it believes under Islamic theology is part of the Ummah, part of the Islamic world. Anything that was once controlled by the Ummah, always part of the Ummah. Anyway, we shall see. Topic number 4, fatwa. Israel's top cleric, Shia Muslim now, as opposed to the Sunnis who are in control of Syria, issued a religious decree against President Trump and Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu on Sunday, an act that some experts are calling an incitement to terrorism. This religious decree, called a fatwa, this is from Grand Ayatollah Nezer Makarem Shirazi, calls on Muslims around the world to take a stand. This, reported by the New York Sun, states that any individual or government that challenges or endangers the leadership and unity of the global Islamic community, the Ummah, is to be regarded as a warlord or muharib, defined as someone who wages war against Allah. And under Iranian law, those identified as muharib can face execution, crucifixion, limb amputation, or exile. To which we say, good luck with that. not helping the future of peace between Israel and Iran with statements like this. Topic number 3, save the children. Robert F. Kennedy Jr., the Secretary of the Department of Health and Human Services, tells Tucker Carlson in a new interview that the Centers for Disease Control buried its own internal study that showed a 1,135% increase in the risk of autism from hepatitis-B vaccinations. This a vaccine recommended for young children. Researchers who were looking into this were shocked at the study, and so they covered it up. How'd they do this? Well, according to RFK Jr., quote, they manipulated the study through 5 different iterations to bury the link. We know how they did it. They got rid of all the older children, essentially, basically excluded them from the study, the ones who were showing signs of autism, and just had younger children who are too young to be diagnosed with autism. And they stratified the data, and they did a lot of other tricks. RFK Jr. has been talking about this, writing about this for a long time. In fact, 20 years ago, 2005, he wrote about the meeting where this decision took place. Quote, instead of taking immediate steps to alert the public and rid the vaccine supply of thimerosal, which is a mercury-based preservative in many vaccines, the officials and executives at Simpsonwood spent most of the next 2 days discussing how to cover up the damaging data. According to transcripts obtained under the Freedom of Information Act, many at the meeting were concerned about how the damaging revelations about thimerosal would affect the vaccine industry's bottom line, end quote. They were more concerned about profits than they were about public health. Remember, the next time we are told to trust the science, that these are the people deciding what the science looks like. They buried the data, and now we've got decades of children who've been impacted by mercury in their vaccines. Topic number 2, you are what you eat. That's an old saying, but study now showing that, yeah, this is actually true. Ultra-processed foods, or UPF, may be rewiring your brain, literally rewiring your brain to make you overeat. This is according to research that examined brain scans from nearly 30,000 middle-aged adults and found structural changes in regions of the brain that control hunger and food cravings. This new study, published in the peer-reviewed journal Nature, found that people who consumed more ultra-processed foods showed measurable differences in brain areas involved in feeding behavior, emotion, and motivation. Higher UPF intake linked to increased thickness in the bilateral lateral occipital cortex. It's a brain region that's crucial for visual object recognition. In other words, when you see something, because this has changed now, you see it and now you want to eat it. The study also uncovered a potential biological mechanism behind these brain changes, finding that increased UPF intake associated with higher levels of systemic inflammation and higher levels of risky metabolic markers in the blood. Things that indicate you're just less healthy. High levels of CRP, triglycerides, HbA1c, indicators of potential health issues. Ultra-processed foods, by the way, are defined by the NOVA classification system as industrial formulations containing ingredients not typically used in home cooking, like high fructose corn syrup, oils, salts, high levels of salt, stabilizers, antioxidants, and various chemical additives, things you would not put in things that you are preparing at home from scratch. And look, I know not all of us have the time to cook at home, but please, seed oils, high fructose corn syrup, salty snacks, get rid of that stuff because it literally changes your brain so that you want to eat more. This is why when you look at photos of Americans from the 60s and 70s, there's not as many fat people walking around. What we're eating is literally making us want to eat more and making us obese and unhealthy. Coming up, Democrats hate America. New study, new poll, and I'll share it with you next on 5 and 10.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you can support the ministry of SkyWatch TV and our continued efforts to share the gospel of Jesus Christ throughout the four corners of the world and receive your very own copy of this incredible masterpiece when you order the NDE Conspiracy Special Offer. Not only does this incredible opportunity include Sean Tabbitt's new book, The NDE Conspiracy, Can We Trust Eyewitness Accounts of Heaven, Hell, and the Afterlife, but it also includes Hereafter. It's Far Better Than You Can Imagine by Jonathan Brentner, a best-selling, beautifully written journey into joy, reward, and glory awaiting believers after the rapture. With vivid scriptural insight and stirring hope, it lifts your eyes from life's struggles to the breathtaking reality of heaven, where reunion, celebration, and unimaginable purpose await. If you've ever wondered what comes next, this is the book that will change everything. But that's not all. When you order the NDE Conspiracy Special Offer, you'll also receive Encounters, extraordinary accounts of angelic intervention, and what the Bible actually says about God's messengers by best-selling authors Donna, Howell, and Ali Anderson. Encounters rips the veil off angelic myths to reveal God's warriors as they truly are. Fierce divine agents on a mission, packed with real stories, biblical insight, and startling truth. It shows how angels are fighting, guiding, and intervening all around you right now. Encounters will change the way you see the unseen realm forever. Sold separately, these items hold a retail value of over $60. Yours now for your donation of only $45, which includes free shipping to all U.S. orders. So don't delay. You can support the ministry of SkyWatch TV and help us continue spreading the gospel of Jesus Christ right now by scanning the QR code on your screen using the camera app on your phone for instant access to this special opportunity. You can also visit us at skywatchtvstore.com or call 1-844-750-4985 and ask for the NDE Conspiracy Special Offer right now.
Item number 1 today, Democrats literally hate America. Or maybe hate is too strong a word, but at the very least they are not proud to be American. You can see the change there, the red line on the chart behind me showing Republicans who say they are very or extremely proud to be an American. The timeline starting in 2001, before 9/11, by the way. And the blue line showing Democrats. There's been a steady decline, pretty much, since 2001. It was steady in the 70 to 80% range during the Obama years, but then began to fall off in 2016 when Trump took office, peaked a little bit during the Biden years, then began to fall again as they realized they'd elected a guy who could not think his way out of a paper bag. That's a harsh way of putting it. Again, those of us with family members suffering from dementia know it is a cruel disease. Anyway, according to Gallup in 2001, before 9/11, 90% of Republicans extremely or very proud to be American, 87% of Democrats. Now in 2025, 92% of Republicans extremely or very proud to be American. That's up 2%. Democrats, only 36%. I knew there'd be a gap between Republicans and Democrats, but I didn't think it would be this big. This week on SkyWatch TV, we're talking about near-death experiences. Sean Tabbitt, a researcher who's spent years now looking into this, his new book, The NDE Conspiracy, a real eye-opener. don't miss the program. You can watch it right now at skywatchtv.com, or you can watch it over the air. Our broadcast schedule posted at skywatchtv.com/channels. It's available online as well. You can watch it at, of course, you can watch it right now on your smart TV. Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, Google TV, Android TV. If you've got a smart TV, add the app. Go to their app store, find the SkyWatch TV app and add it. We'll be there whenever you click the remote. YouTube.com/@SkyWatch Television. Please subscribe, share, click the bell for notifications, and hit that like button. Rumble.com/SkyWatch TV, or download the free mobile app to your smartphone or tablet. This not only brings all of our content right to you, and additional features like a link to our streaming video site where you can watch some of our long-form documentaries like Rescue Us. You can also read the Bible there. We've got a Bible module with multiple translations available, but it also guarantees we never get canceled. It comes right to you and bypasses the gatekeepers. It's available for iOS, Android, and Amazon Kindle Fire phones and tablets, and we've got links to their app stores at our website, skywatchtv.com/app. Now, opportunities to meet with us. We will be in Ohio, suburban Dayton, Brookville, Ohio exactly, the Harvest Revival Center, July 25th and 26th for the Go Therefore Conference. Joe Ardis Horn, host of SkyWatch Television, joining Sharon and me alongside our good friends Pastor Carl Gallups, Dr. Sherry Tenpenny, Vicki Joy Anderson, Pastor Casper McLeod, David Hefner, Kenny C., Tom Dunn, and more. Dr. Mike Spalding, who is putting on the conference. Again, this is a wonderful gathering, and it's a wonderful facility. And here's the thing. If you can't be there in person, you can stream video, but you can also buy, well, really an all-access pass, in-person tickets and streaming video, so you can share the presentations later with friends and family at a discount. More information and registration at gothereforeconference.com. That's gothereforeconference.com. Then in August, we'd like to welcome you to our part of the world, the Ozarks. The Remnant Rising Conference, August 22nd through 24th, August 22nd through 24th at the Oasis Hotel and Convention Center in Springfield, Missouri, Southwest Missouri, the heart of the Ozarks. And all of us from SkyWatch TV will be there. Joe Ardis Horn, Donna Howell, host of the Donna Howell Show, Nita Horn, they're talking about Whispering Ponies Ranch, Sharon and me, of course, and friends like Mondo de la Vega from the Jim Baker Show, Nathan Reynolds, look forward to meeting him. He's got a very interesting story. Jamie Walden, U.S. Marine, wow, his ministry, Omega Dynamics, is really doing some wonderful work there in Southwest Colorado. Vicki Joy Anderson, Tracy Tennant, Dave Hodges, host of the Common Sense Show, Kevin Shipp, and more. And again, streaming video available for this conference. If you can't be there in person, please consider streaming the video and use promo code SkyWatch20. Why? Because you save $20 when you do. And Hear the Watchman Ministries will then donate $20 to Whispering Ponies Ranch as well. So you save money, Whispering Ponies Ranch benefits. More information and registration at hearthewatchmen.com, hearthewatchmen.com. And again, use promo code SkyWatch20. Now, October, our trip to Israel is still on. Sharon and me, along with our special guest, Carl Teichrieb, author, researcher, lecturer, and we will take you from north to south, showing you key battlegrounds in the ongoing war for Israel. This is for control of God's holy mountain, Zion, where, according to Psalm 132, he will dwell forever, for he has desired it. This will be a rolling conference across the Holy Land. We'll take you places other tours will not. Gilgal Rephaim will show you what we believe is the actual baptismal site of Jesus, which is, I'm not aware of anyone else who's pointed out this site yet. I could be wrong, but I don't think anyone else has located it where we do, north of the Sea of Galilee, specifically in the shadow of a megalithic site very similar to Gilgal Rephaim. We'll also show you the Valley of the Shadow of Death. It's a real place, we believe, and we'll explain why. We'll take you to the Sea of Galilee, Nazareth. We'll take you to Shiloh, show you the red heifers, Jerusalem, the Temple Mount, the Mount of Olives, and the old city, the city of David. The archaeology there is astonishing. Yes, contrary to what many would believe, there is a long history of Jewish occupation in Jerusalem. It goes back about 3,000 years. We will also take you to some of the southern communities in the Negev, close to Gaza, that were attacked on October 7th of 2023. You can see with your own eyes how this battle, this long supernatural war, is playing out today. You want to find out more and reserve your seat on the bus, please go to gilberthouse.org/travel, gilberthouse.org/travel. Follow 5 in 10 online. You'll find us on X, formerly Twitter, at 5_in_10. We post links to news items we think are important there. And of course on YouTube at 5 in 10, where we ask you to subscribe, share, click the bell for notifications, hit the like button, and share your comments below. And thank you for watching as we keep watch. I'm Derek Gilbert. This is 5 in 10 from SkyWatch TV.